How do criminals run a global financial network? Beneath the surface of legitimate financial systems lies a dark, complex web known as the shadow economy. This vast underworld facilitates the movement of illicit funds, enabling activities like money laundering, tax evasion, and entire industries operating outside the law. From drug cartels and human trafficking rings to corrupt politicians and corporate fraudsters, the shadow economy exerts a significant, often unseen influence on our world. But how does it operate, and why is it so challenging to dismantle? In this video, we will delve into the mechanisms that keep this hidden economy thriving and explore the global efforts to combat it. The shadow economy encompasses all economic activities hidden from government oversight. These include unreported cash transactions, black market trade, and large-scale operations like illegal arms dealing or counterfeit goods production. According to estimates, this hidden economy constitutes up to 20% of the global GDP, amounting to over $20 trillion annually. In some countries, especially developing nations, this percentage can climb even higher, creating a parallel economy that rivals or even surpasses the official one. With such massive amounts of money flowing unchecked, the first question is, how do criminals keep these funds hidden in plain sight? One critical method is money laundering, the process of making dirty money appear legitimate. Criminal organizations use techniques like shell companies, offshore accounts, and trade-based laundering to disguise their profits. A striking example is the Panama Papers leak, which revealed how wealthy individuals, corporations, and criminals alike used offshore entities to hide assets and evade taxes. The leak implicated high-profile politicians, celebrities, and criminal enterprises in a global network of secrecy. Yet the Panama Papers were just the tip of the iceberg. How many similar schemes remain undiscovered, continuing to fuel the shadow economy? The global reach of the shadow economy is vast, touching every corner of the world. From cash exchanges to digital transactions, the methods are constantly evolving. As authorities crack down on one method, new ones emerge, keeping the shadow economy alive and thriving. Organized crime syndicates are central to this underworld, generating billions annually from illegal activities like drug trafficking and human smuggling. These profits must be integrated into the legitimate economy to avoid detection. Cartels often use cash-heavy businesses like restaurants or car washes to launder their money. Meanwhile, human trafficking operations, generating an estimated $150 billion each year, rely on the same financial loopholes and complicity of institutions to operate. The seamless integration of illicit profits into the legitimate economy raises a troubling question. How do we dismantle a system so deeply entwined with legitimate financial networks? Corruption is another key enabler of the shadow economy. Politicians, law enforcement, and government officials often turn a blind eye or even participate through bribes and kickbacks. Entire governments have been implicated in facilitating criminal enterprises, as seen in the infamous 1MDB scandal in Malaysia. Billions of dollars were siphoned off a state investment fund, with the money spent on luxury properties, jewelry, and even Hollywood films like The Wolf of Wall Street. Corruption at such high levels creates an ecosystem where the shadow economy thrives unchecked. But when those responsible for enforcing the law are part of the problem, who holds them accountable? The global nature of these networks makes it even more challenging to combat, as they exploit international financial systems. Yet, there are those who fight back: journalists, whistleblowers, and activists, risking their lives to expose the truth. The fight against the shadow economy is a global battle, requiring international cooperation and relentless pursuit of justice. Tax evasion is another cornerstone of the shadow economy, and it's not just criminals who take advantage. Wealthy individuals and corporations often use the same offshore havens as drug lords and traffickers to avoid taxation. Jurisdictions like the Cayman Islands, Luxembourg, and Switzerland offer secrecy and low taxes, making them attractive hubs for hidden wealth. While some of these practices are technically legal, they're ethically questionable and deprive governments of billions in annual revenue. Imagine how many social programs or infrastructure projects could be funded if these taxes were reclaimed. But how do you close loopholes when powerful interests are invested in keeping them open? The rise of cryptocurrencies has added a new dimension to the shadow economy. Digital currencies like Bitcoin offer anonymity and decentralization, making them ideal tools for cybercriminals and dark web transactions. Ransomware attacks have surged in recent years, with hackers extorting billions in cryptocurrency payments from individuals and corporations. While blockchain technology is designed to provide transparency, its pseudo-anonymous nature makes tracing funds a complex challenge for law enforcement. As digital currencies continue to evolve, how do we strike a balance between innovation and preventing exploitation? The global financial landscape is changing rapidly, and the shadow economy is adapting just as quickly. Governments and regulators face an uphill battle in curbing these illicit activities, but the fight continues. With collaboration and innovation, there's hope for a more transparent and fair financial system for all. Stopping the shadow economy is no small task. Its global interconnectedness allows money to flow across borders in seconds, often passing through jurisdictions with weak regulations or corrupt officials. Criminal networks are highly sophisticated, often staying several steps ahead of law enforcement. Even legitimate institutions like major banks have been caught facilitating money laundering, sometimes knowingly. In such cases, the fines imposed are often negligible compared to the profits made, raising the question: are these penalties a deterrent or merely the cost of doing business? Despite its illegality, the shadow economy persists, partly because it fills gaps left by legitimate systems. In regions with high unemployment or oppressive bureaucracy, it provides income and access to goods and services that would otherwise be unavailable. But this comes at a steep cost, perpetuating crime, corruption, and inequality. Addressing this issue requires more than just enforcement. It demands systemic change. How do we tackle a problem that operates both in the shadows and in plain sight? Combating the shadow economy requires a multifaceted approach. Stronger international cooperation is essential to monitor cross-border financial flows and close loopholes exploited by criminals. Financial transparency measures like beneficial ownership registries can help identify the individuals behind anonymous entities. Technological advancements must also be leveraged to detect and prevent illicit activities, but they must be accompanied by robust regulatory frameworks to ensure they aren't outpaced by innovation. Lastly, institutions complicit in the shadow economy must face harsher penalties, making their participation in such schemes untenable. Ultimately, the shadow economy reflects deeper systemic issues: inequality, weak governance, and greed. Fixing these problems will require coordinated global efforts, from policymakers to law enforcement, to ordinary citizens demanding accountability. The question is, will we rise to the challenge, or will we allow this invisible system to continue shaping our world unchecked? If this video opened your eyes to the hidden networks influencing global finance, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Your support helps uncover the stories they don't want you to know.